Okay, so Platinum Fund A2 is a Wyoming LLC. We're going to describe what happened here. So if you, some of this looks very similar to another video we did to educate on how syndications work, but you notice code 3 assets on the left. We found the opportunity, we developed the relationships. We had to travel all over heck to do that, but we underwrote the deal, did the due diligence. The deal seemed to make sense to us, and we develop the teams to essentially assemble the deal. And then as the deal goes forward, we will provide managerial services to the LLC, which you'll see here in just a second. So kind of like I said, we went out, we found an opportunity. So we found an ATM fund. Okay, it's a fund that acquires institutional grade ATM portfolios uh, in major locations, major cities, and so forth, where um, the demand seems to be increasing. Some people will think, well, why would I want to invest in ATMs? I don't use them. Well, I don't use ATMs either, but it's kind of like Class C apartments. I don't currently live in a Class C apartment, but I'd sure like to own a lot of them. And there's some people that are underbanked and unbanked, and they simply don't have the banking abilities that we have, that we take for granted. So they transact in government EBT cards, prepaid debit cards, a number of things. And some of it, people just want the convenience of cash. Some people want the privacy of cash. Um, and then these ATMs are actually being or allocated that technology to work with various other things, other payment types here coming up and that are currently in existence. But you can learn more about that, and we'll tell you how that works. I don't want to get too far into the weeds on any of this. But anyway, Code 3 Assets essentially went out, found the opportunity, which is this ATM fund, and we started getting around the people that were directly in that fund. It's not like we don't know these people. We started building relationships with them and decided that'd be a good fit for us and our investors. So what's cool about these guys is, like I said, we're not looking for, let's go buy 30 ATMs at a gas station. These are one of the top 5 ATM operators in the country. It's Main Street investing in Main Street. They're direct competitors with publicly traded companies like Cardtronics. And currently, I just checked today. So here we are sitting in January of 2022. And I checked with them today, and they're currently at about 320 million in ATM assets under management. So we are not talking a small operation here. But they really like Main Street investing in Main Street and getting the investors close to the assets. So what we did is we went out and we created a Wyoming LLC, Platinum Fund A2, abbreviated here as PFA2. We created that Wyoming LLC, and then we used our teams on the left there, the legal teams and CPAs and so forth, to divide it up. Class A interests, which you'll see is what the investors own. That's where the capital coming in. They own the Class A interests. They're going to retain 95% of that LLC, or 95% of the company. Class B interests, which are the folks doing the work, they will retain 5% of the company. We intend through the LLC to raise up to $10 million and deploy it into the ATM fund. Minimum Class A investment amount is $104,000 per investment tranche. You can do more than that. That's the advertised minimum. And what's really cool about this is there's some great tax benefits. If you have a capital gain event, you have other passive income, maybe from rentals or some other investment, or you have some depreciation recapture or something along these lines, we could actually utilize the tax benefits in this, and the deal's structured in a way to direct the tax benefits back to the investors, the Class A investors, the people bringing in the capital. They're going to be the ones getting the tax benefits, and you could take 100% bonus depreciation in year one. That's still an option in year 2022 here. So that's something that if you have a taxable event, essentially the government can pay a portion of your investment. If you think about it like this, I know we're 104,000 here, but let's just use easier math. If you got $100,000 capital event and you owe 40% tax, say you're in a high tax bracket, well, your balance sheet, you just got a liability of 40,000. So your net on that 60. But if you can go out and find another investment and deploy those funds back into that, to this investment, that with the bonus depreciation, essentially the government will forgive that tax. In other words, they are contributing that $40,000 on your behalf, and you're pairing it with your 60 then, or in this case, your 64. But so again, as you've seen on our other diagrams and other videos, we had legal teams put all that together, and we go out and we get Class A investors. Again, they retain 95% of the LLC. They get the tax benefits, they get cash flow, that sort of thing. And then we have Class B interest, the folks doing the work, they'll retain 5% of the deal. So, or 5% of the company, which meaning the Wyoming LLC, PFA2 is depicted here. Then PFA2, so as the investors deploy money into the LLC deploys money out to the ATM fund, which is another LLC. And that ATM fund then acquires institutional grade assets that they're bidding on those locations. Now, they're not really going in and saturating a market with new ATM machines that already have enough. They're going in and bidding on portfolios of ATMs. In other words, the spaces. So if you're a deli shop owner, you're leasing that space to somebody. So they may go out and bid against Cardtronics or whoever else. It's a significant player, and they're taking down these large portfolios of ATMs and then upgrading them with new machines, new technology, and that sort of thing. And you can learn more about that, and we'll tell you how here. But essentially, that's how it goes. Investors come into the LLC deploys the money to an ATM fund, and the ATM fund acquires the assets and manages them. Again, these are not. We've had a number of people a little bit confused, I think, thinking we're just going to go out and start buying ATM machines at gas stations and so forth. That's not the case. These folks are significant operators in this space. That's the way we do things at Code 3 Assets. We try to pair ourselves with high quality Class A operators. So we're just bringing that opportunity back to other folks. And is what we like about syndications is everybody's interests are aligned. When the deal makes money, everybody should make the money, as opposed to just one side or the other. So you'll see here, it's open to accredited investors only. See some pro forma returns listed on the left here. If you want more information, you can certainly get an executive summary that explains it way more in depth of how the deal works. It's essentially the business plan, and then it has all these returns and so forth in there. Now, again, it's open to accredited investors only, which means net worth of $1 million, excluding the value of your primary residence, or your income if single, $200,000 a year the last couple of years with reasonable expectation to continue this year, or if married, that number's $300,000, again with that expectation to continue. So this is a 506C for those who watched our other videos and wondered what that is, or had seen what that is and kind of wondered how to apply it in real life. Here you go. This is the way this deal is structured. So what can you do? What's important now is if you're interested in this and you want to get more information, you can send an email to atm@code3assets.com, and the team will get you out the necessary paperwork to where you can look at the executive summaries, or executive summary, which is the business plan, and so forth. If you want more information about it, just send that email to atm@code3assets.com. And if you just want to join our community, or again, get those reports that I mentioned at the beginning, you can send an email to swat@code3assets.com, and we'll be happy to send those your way. There's no charge for those reports, totally free. But hopefully this video will help you understand a little better what we're doing with this ATM fund and why we think it's pretty cool. So if you have further questions, just reach out to us. We're happy to tell you a lot more about it and see if we can help you out. And until then, I appreciate everybody watching.